Windows on the World Restaurant was just one of many businesses destroyed on 9/11. Of course, it sat on top of the North Tower. Now, some of the remaining employees are remembering the friends they lost by finally realizing a dream. American Morning's Kelly Wallace has their story this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Sol. That's such a nice story because the dream was owning a restaurant all by themselves, many of them immigrants, so that they would own and operate this new restaurant. It started serving the public last week, but it will celebrate its official grand opening this coming week.
The seafood
bowl.
Magdi Labib's from Egypt, Jean-Pierre's from Haiti, and Silverio Moves from the Philippines. Three men from dramatically different backgrounds, but forever linked by a date, a restaurant, and routine scheduling that ultimately saved their lives.
Thank God I was a sous chef that, we're doing construction on the floor, and they told me, you don't have to come in until 10 o'clock. And that's the reason I'm here today.
73 of their friends, their colleagues at the World Trade Center's Windows on the World were not as lucky. They died at work on September 11th. And more than 4 years later, it's still tough to look at photos of people and a place they used to see every day.
I'm getting, a little bit of goosebumps, something every time I remember them.
Yes, raise your hand.
In a tribute to their lost colleagues, they, along with about 50 restaurant workers, many of whom are immigrants who also worked at Windows, joined together to open Colors, one of New York City's first worker-owned restaurants.
Is this a dream come true? You are a part owner of a restaurant in New York City.
In New York City, which is a very tough place to be, but we're going to make it very well. I feel terrific. How you doing, buddy? You good, man?
And this is not just about remembering lives lost, they say. It's also about changing lives. Workers will get a share of the profits if there are any, and no one earns less than $13.50 an hour, far higher than what an average restaurant pays.
Right here, you have a bunch of immigrants that owns a restaurant. How crazy is that, right? So it's like, for a lot of people now, they could look up to us and say, we could do it, we could be owners, we could be better in life.
Just about every owner has submitted a recipe from their home country for the menu.
We call it lumpia.
Philippine lobster lumpia from 41-year-old Silverio, and from Magdi, a father of two.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet?
Nothing yet. I didn't like my recipe.
They didn't like your recipe?
No, they did, but
we got to take that up with the owner.
No,
oh, wait, you are an owner.
You're talking to me.
Success, though, is no sure thing.
If it doesn't work, we'll try again. Maybe a smaller place. We're not going to give up.
The memory of their friends driving them to realize a dream born out of tragedy.
And it is a dream that took more than 3 years and $2 million to realize. And Soledad, a dream that faces some very big challenges because a recent study found that nationwide, new restaurants, 60% of new restaurants fail within 3 years.
Yeah, the odds are not with them, especially in the New York restaurant business. Where did they get the $2 million from?
They got about $500,000 from a cooperative, another restaurant food cooperative in Italy. The rest of the money, though, coming from faith-based social groups. They say getting this money, Soledad, you would think a lot of people might have wanted to invest in it, but it was very hard to get the money, and they seem to get money from these groups that want to invest, but also want to make a social message, helping immigrants and helping workers become owners as well.
And it almost sounds like the owners now have their own message they want to give too.
They do. They say immigrants have not been very well treated often in restaurants. Sometimes they're in the back of the restaurants. Dishwashers maybe make $7 or $8 an hour, can't move up. They're saying at this restaurant they're going to get health care, they're going to get good wages, you can be a dishwasher for 1 year, then a few years later maybe you can be an assistant to a chef. So they're hoping to send a message. Opportunity also, so that the better you treat your workers, we know this across the board, the better services they'll provide. So having these owners be invested in this process, they think they're going to have, a better product they'll turn out.
Oh, well, fingers crossed.
Fingers
crossed.
It's
in Greenwich Village, you said, on Lafayette Street near Astor Place. So anybody who comes to New York City can go visit. Thanks, Kelly.
Sure.
Miles?
Hope the boss was listening to that last one. That was good philosophy.